Hello everyone, this is Dreadwing 2029 here to give you my worst movies of 2016. Now, just before I start, none of these films are going to be in a certain list. I mean, they certainly seem like it. Usually it goes from 10 to 1. Well, this time it's going from 1 to 10, and none of these films are going to be in order from worst to absolutely shit. So, just to let you know, and also, this is my opinion of the worst movies of 2016, so hope you can enjoy and also stick around for my best movies of 2016. The Huntsman Winter's War? What is that? I don't even know. What? Hey, hang on, what is it? Oh, it's a sequel to Snow White and the Huntsman, the Chris Hemsworth and Bella from Twilight movie. I mean, does anybody really need a sequel to this? Does anybody? Hey you! Do you want a sequel to Huntsman the Winter's War? Hey! So in the sequel that nobody really wanted, but they got anyway, we have Chris Hemsworth who's playing Chris Hemsworth. I have to admit this movie does have some good visual effects, but it just feels forgettable. I can't remember anything that goes on, and none of the characters are memorable. And also, is it just me, or is this trying to steal stuff from Disney's Frozen? I mean, get this, you have two sisters, one of them is an ice queen who can summon ice, and has an ice palace. Does that not scream Disney Frozen to you? It certainly does to me. Huntsman and Winter's War. I just forgot about it right then. Wait, what was I talking about again? The Fifth Wave, another book to film adaptation, and a pretty terrible one at that. I mean, I know a lot of this put the Divergent series Allegiant on this list, but I haven't seen that film. I'm really into the Divergent series anyway, but I'm gonna put the Fifth Wave on here because it's just terrible. If I describe this movie to you, it will be Twilight, plus Invasion of the Body Snatchers, plus a little bit of disaster movie near the beginning, all rolled into one. If you mix it all together really good, you get the Fifth Wave. And it's not really a good, terrible combination. I mean, Invasion of the Body Snatchers stuff is okay, but I wish it was a little bit more. I wish it was its own movie instead of this. This just feels like, again, it feels like Twilight. If I want to watch Twilight, I'll go watch Twilight. Also, we get a character who's both human and this kind of alien control body snatcher thing, and just to fall with the main protagonist. Like, what the hell? Like, this is like Warm Bodies. Like, he's suddenly a zombie, but now he loves her. Really? The Fifth Wave, just don't, because if you do, you'll get some bland characters, poor writing, and Twilight-esque love story. Next we have Melissa McCarthy's The Boss, which, really? Come on, Melissa McCarthy, you can do better than this. I mean, with bad comedies, there's the amount of times where you can just say, that's not funny, that's actually kind of annoying. Well, I got that with this film. It just doesn't seem funny or kind of original. I'll pretty much describe the plot, pretty much, so you don't have to go see the movie. It's on me, so. We got this head of this giant big corporation who's wealthy and powerful and everybody loves her until she gets sent to prison, bankrupt, and now she has to take back her stuff, rise to the top, and rebrand her as a new American sweetheart. Oh, doesn't that sound gripping and thrilling and so much tension? I mean, I was considering to put another comedy on the list, which was Bad Neighbors 2 was supposed to take the spot, but I thought this one is probably not as good. Bad Neighbors 2 was, alright, just felt unnecessary. This one just felt stale and unfunny. And especially for Melissa McCarthy. Again, she is funny. Melissa McCarthy is funny. I enjoy her movies so much. It's just this film just feels like a flop for her. Melissa McCarthy is The Boss. Just wait for The Boss Baby coming out this year. I reckon that'll be more funny than this. a lot more funny. Speaking of unnecessary sequels, we have this gem, Independence Day Resurgence. A massive, unneeded sequel for the original, and it pretty much is the same exact movie as the first movie. It's just bigger and better. Humans have alien technology. The aliens have humongous, gigantic shit which covers almost the entire globe. And is it just me, or does this feel like a little bit of a soft reboot of sorts? I mean, you have the original old characters, you got Jeff Goldblum in it, and apparently at the end they're gonna cock tease us with the sequel. They're gonna take the fight to them, go to the aliens, go into space and shoot aliens in space. It's all gonna be fun! I mean, it's no wonder why they need the old characters back, because the new characters suck. Not even Liam Hemsworth is unable to save this film. It has no Will Smith. I mean, the sci-fi action does look pretty impressive, and I do like Jeff Goldblum, but even sometimes he's really disinterested in it. I also can't wait for this thrilling Independence Day cinematic universe that sure is gonna happen, or not. Doesn't it sound exciting? Independence Day Resurgence. Bigger does not always mean better, guys. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 Out of the Shadows. It has everything that fans wanted. Krang, Bebop, Rocksteady, a new looking Shredder, the Foot Clan look like ninjas instead of Call of Duty soldiers. But is it really a good film? No, it's not. I mean, at least I have to give credit to the first movie. At least it tried to be a movie. It didn't try to cram everything together, put everything together like The Amazing Spider-Man 2 did. There were some alright scenes, especially with Mikey, but even he started to get a little bit dull. And Megan Fox's acting, she took a step back from the first movie. In the first movie, she was decent. She was a little bit better than she was in Transformers Revenge of the Fallen, but in this movie, she just doesn't care. Besides stripping off in a sexy schoolgirl outfit, besides that, she doesn't do anything. She just seems bored and wants to get this shit over and done with quickly as possible. At least try. Also, I reckon that they should have saved Krang for the third movie that they probably may or may not do. And this movie should be about the Shredder creating Bebop and Rocksteady to rival the Turtles. I mean, why not? I mean, in this movie we only get one scene of them fighting, and then we had like the waterfall chase, but that's it. They should have just kept the focus on Bebop, Rocksteady, and Shredder. That would have been much better. Instead, they just have to have Krang in there, maybe for fan service or something. But if you took Krang out of this movie and the plot about the Technodrome, then it would just stand on its own. It would just be a movie. But you just gotta have Krang and the Technodrome and cram everything together to please the fans. Well, it doesn't exactly please the fans. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 Out of the Shadows. Just please go back in the shadows. Also, it's something that fans always wanted, but not exactly wanted. Ghostbusters 2016. What a piece of shit. I cannot believe that there's controversy about this film when the first official trailer released. Like, I can't believe it. It's so baffling. Like, why? I don't really want to talk about the controversy because I can spend here all day talking about why the controversy over Ghostbusters 2016 is just bizarre, but I'm just gonna talk about the movie here and why I think it's a piece of shit. Like, you have all these great actresses and actors in it, and the only one I feel like really performed their best was Leslie Jones. I feel like she was the best besides her goofy moments, but the others are just trying. I mean, Melissa McCarthy was trying in this movie. She was trying hard with the material that she's gotten, but honestly, I just don't think the actors and actresses really performed their best in this movie. Chris Hemsworth plays a secretary who can't even answer or figure out a goddamn phone, for God's sakes. And the villain is just some guy who dies and somehow gets magical powers and ability to turn into the Ghostbusters logo and grow humongous. They pretty much have the same exact powers as Gozer from the first movie. Most of the jokes are unfunny, some of them about fart jokes, and also three jokes in the entire movie were about receiving the wrong order of crab rangoon. Really? Is that all you got? Also, the plot is pretty much the same as the original Ghostbusters, but if it was crossed and made by the same guys who did Pixels. Ghostbusters 2016. I'm probably gonna get a lot of flack for putting this on the list, but this is just my opinion. I did not like Ghostbusters 2016. It's awful. Just don't. Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Justice. You kind of figured already that this will be on the list, but in fact, there are some things that I liked about the movie. The fight scene between Batman vs Superman was pretty fun at times. Ben Affleck as Batman was awesome. He was spectacular despite the fact that he kills people. And also the warehouse fight scene where Batman is going to break out Martha was phenomenal. Was excellent, but everything else besides Wonder Woman is just terrible. Despite the fact that the fight between Batman vs Superman is actually kind of fun in some places, it felt short and also ended in a pretty hilarious way. It really, apparently having your mother's name automatically assumes that you're best friends, even though you two kind of hated each other and wanted to kill one another. What? Also, Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor. He wasn't playing Lex Luthor. He was playing the Joker with hair and eventually becomes bald in the end because, hey, it's Lex Luthor, everybody. Hey, it's gonna be Lex Luthor. He's gonna be a villain. The bells are wrong. Ding, 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 ding. Oh my god. I just dubbed him Mr. Cringe in this movie. That's what he is Mr. Cringe. Also, Lois Lane barely feels like she should be in the movie, besides her little side plot of figuring out who the main culprit or the main mastermind is behind all this time, which is obviously Lex Luthor. But besides that, she doesn't really do anything. She just doesn't feel like she's needed in this movie. The one thing that I absolutely hate about this movie is the fact that they try to build up or tease what's going to happen in the DC cinematic universe. Pretty much try to cram it in and shove it into this movie with everything else that's going on. It just doesn't feel like it's really need to be there. It should be built up in other movies, but it just feels like it is unneeded. It just feels forced in. And I also hate how they killed off Superman in like his second film here. He's only shown up in Man of Steel and now this, and now he's dead at the end. Like, why? Even if the dirt was rising from the coffin, it just, I mean, I would expect a much gratifying and satisfying deep death scene with all the Justice League there just mourning and paying respects to their fallen member of their team, and probably the most powerful member of their team, because Superman is really, really strong. But no, second movie, dead, completely ignored, just none of that, just great. Absolutely great. Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Justice, because when you think the dawn of the Justice League, you think Batman being the shit out of Superman, or Superman being the shit out of Batman, or whatever. In 2016, we had some pretty terrible comedies, but I think this is the worst one, and another unnecessary sequel. It's Zoolander 2. The story is basically that Derek Zoolander and Owen Wilson are basically coming back in the spotlight to modeling, which isn't necessarily our main plot, since the main plot is who's murdering all these pop stars and who's gunning them down. Well, I'm gonna tell you, it's Will Ferrell. It's pretty much Will Ferrell's the mastermind behind this all time, but one thing I at least enjoy about this movie, this comedy, is that I get to watch Justin Bieber get mauled down by gunmen and pretty much shot, which I was happy for that for some reason. I don't know if I'm dark. I think I just hate Justin Bieber because That's my favorite moment. Most of the jokes apparently are pretty much ripped straight from the first movie, pretty much a carbon copy of it. And also this movie has so many famous faces. It has Benedict Cumberbatch, even Skrillex, Katy Perry, Kanye West, and yet, god damn it, this film still fails, even with the celebrity cameos in there. The first movie kind of pokes fun at the fashion industry. Well, this film, it just kind of gets overly ridiculous by the end. It's just, oh my god. Why did I have to make a sequel on this? Why? Why does there need to be a Zoolander 2? Just why? Zoolander 2. Not even all these famous people can save it. It's just that bad. Gods of Egypt. If I have to describe this film, or compare my watching experience to something else, I would compare it to Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones, because that's what it feels like. It feels like I'm watching Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones, mixed with Exodius, Gods and Kings. It has unmemorable characters, the plot is just terrible, it has crappy CGI, it has pretty much the makings of a bad blockbuster film, and it's absolutely utterly ridiculous. And also, I can't even remember what even happened in this movie, so that's just how bad this film is. Gods of Egypt. Just, if you're a god, just stay the hell away from this. It's not worth your time or your money. Now, before I get to my last pick on this list, I would like to mention some dishonorable mentions or movies that almost made it on this list. Movies like Point Break, Jason Bourne, Bad Neighbors 2, Rise of Sorority, X-Men Apocalypse, and finally Bad Santa 2. And now for the last one. You'll probably guess what it is, or maybe it's a bit of a surprise. Either way, here's the last one. Suicide Squad. Yes, you probably weren't expecting this. Oh, how this movie is dubbed as pretty much the only hope for DC's cinematic universe after Batman vs Superman failed critically, but not really financially. And does this movie hold up to those promises? No it doesn't. It does not. Describing the first half of the movie to you is pretty much edited together like it's like a trailer. It just feels like a cinematic trailer. It's a trailer within the movie. That's really odd. But it gets even worse when the color scheme is just awful. There's a lot of grey, and also when it's nighttime, it just feels like this fake dark time instead of actually filming it at night. It's like, why do you have to do that? Why can't you just film it in friggin' night? Then we get our characters. Two of them get backstories, unless you count Captain Boomerang's backstory, which are just not really good. I mean, with the Harley Quinn backstory, you can actually make a whole nother Batman film with it entirely, but it just feels rushed and forced, and it pretty much is just the Joker making Harley Quinn. That's it. And also, Will Smith's backstory as Deadshot just isn't good. I mean, Batman was in it, which was pretty cool. It's cool to see Ben Affleck as Batman again, but it just isn't good. And we have Slipknot, the man who can climb anything, except when he tries to climb something, he dies immediately. And we also got Katana, which is just there. I mean, I don't know why she's there. She's not even a villain. She could just leave anytime she wants, but she's just there. Killer Croc, he's pretty terrible. It doesn't really say much, or he has a hilarious swimming pit when he's underwater. Probably my only favorite character in this movie has to be Captain Boomerang, and maybe some stuff with Harley, but besides that, Captain Boomerang is the best character because he just comes off like a jerk, like an asshole. But this is what everybody else has been mostly looking forward to. Jared Leto's controversial version of the Joker, and it's a pretty terrible Joker. He just comes off like he's loony or crazy. I mean, the Joker is also psychotic. He's masterful. He comes up with a plan. He's scheming. He also always tries to give Gotham City and Batman a hard time. This Joker, he he's just weird. He's just like a gangster with gold grill in his teeth and all these tattoos. And also, let's have a tattoo of damaged on his forehead just to verify that he's damaged. And also on set, that Jared Leto pretty much the shit that Jared Leto does on set is pretty insane. And also the director's iTunes playlist seems to leak in this movie for some reason. I get that DC really want their own Guardians of the Galaxy, but they even have that scene where they become best friends and unite to stop evil, except in here it fails, and when in Guardians of the Galaxy it actually is more impactful and actually makes sense and is actually much better. And for those people who stuck around to the end credit for the end credit scene, it's also bad because we already know that Bruce Wayne is building up a team of superheroes. I mean, he's just been shown the files of superheroes and even Enchantress, and he just turns them away. That's all that happens. Just doesn't even build up for the Justice League. We already know that he's building a team. DC's Guardians of the Galaxy, I mean Suicide Squad. This movie certainly does want me to commit suicide. Squad. So those are my 10 picks for the worst movies of 2016. Please stay tuned on this channel for the best picks of 2016, because I'm doing the worst first and now I'm doing the best. As always, please like, comment, share, and also subscribe, and also hit that little bell icon on my channel just to notify of notifications and also video uploads, because YouTube is incredibly stupid. And also, this video is under fair use. Reviews and lists like this are under fair use, so please keep that in mind, YouTube. So anyway, guys, this has been Dreadwing 2029 signing off and saying have a good day and have a happy new year and adios.